Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Amalia binti Fauzan Amri, metric number F1005.
My name is Nur Farhan Tuzemi. My metric number is 23DIB 22F1031.
Today, me and Nana want to present about what is investment, explain the concept of investment according to Islamic perspective, prohibition of riba, warar and maisir, and the last one is about risk sharing, profit sharing and loss sharing. An investment can be defined as the commitment of funds to one or more assets that will be held over some future time period. Next is about types of investment. The first one is stock. Stocks or shares is a security that refers partly to ownership in a company. Individuals buy equities to earn massive profit. The second one is unit trust. Unit trusts are unincorporated mutual funds that pass profits directly to investors rather than reinvesting in the fund. The third one is real estate, means properties. Real estate is considered real property that includes land and anything permanently attached to it or built on it, whether natural or man-made. The last one is bonds. Bonds are units of corporate debt issued by companies and securitized as tradable assets. Terms of investment divided into two, which is short-term investment and long-term investment. Short-term investment held for shorter period of time. Shorter time period, 3 until 5-year term. Level of risk is low, for example, fixed deposit. Long-term investment held for long period of time. Longer time period means more than 5 years. Level of risk is high. For example, unit trust investment and stock investment.
Concept of investment according to Islamic perspective. In Islamic finance, the concept of investment is governed by principles that align with the Sharia law. According to Islamic principles, the investment should be made in ethical and socially responsible business. Investment in industries that involve gambling, alcohol, tobacco, and other haram, forbidden activities is not permissible.
Furthermore is prohibition of riba, warar and maisir. Islam prohibits riba and it appears explicitly in the Quran. Since the Quran is undisputed source of the guidance for Muslims, there is unanimous agreement among Islamic scholars on the fact that Islam has prohibited the practice of riba.
The word gharar refers to a transaction that has an element of uncertainty at the beginning. For example of transactions that contain gharar are: first, speculative transaction in the stock market, when a person buys shares in the hope of making a profit but does not have enough knowledge about the company or the market. The transaction is considered gharar. Second, sell and purchase transaction with certain conditions. If there are unclear or ambiguous conditions in the sale and purchase transactions, such as unclear payment conditions or uncertain delivery conditions, the transaction is considered to contain gharar. Third, gambling. Gambling transactions are considered to contain gharar because the outcome of such transaction is uncertain and unpredictable.
Maisir is derived from the root word yasara, which literally means easy and something attained with no effort. Gambling is termed maisir because of the element of earning money or winning something without any effort at all. This element is one of the reasons for the prohibition of gambling.
Risk sharing. This refers to the principle of sharing risks between parties in a financial transaction. In conventional finance, the borrower typically bears all the risks associated with a loan. However, in Islamic finance, risk is shared between the lender and the borrower. For example, in a musyarakah arrangement, two or more parties contribute capital to a business venture with profits and losses shared according to a pre-agreed ratio. Contract of risk sharing. First, the parties usually agree to share the costs and profit of the project or investment based on an agreed ownership percentage. Second, Some common types of risk-sharing contracts include joint ventures, limited partnerships, and profit-sharing agreements. Third, it should clearly outline and roles and responsibilities of each party, state the term of agreements, and include provisions for resolving disputes or changing the term of the agreement if necessary.
Profit sharing. This refers to the principle of sharing profits between parties in the financial transaction. In Islamic finance, profits are shared between the investor and the entrepreneur. For example, in a mudarabah arrangement, the investor provides capital to the entrepreneur who manages the business. If the business generates profits, they are shared between the investor and the entrepreneur according to a pre-agreed ratio. Contract of profit sharing. A contract of profit sharing is an agreement between two or more parties where profits from a business or investment are shared according to predetermined terms. The terms of the agreement may specify the percentage of profits to be shared, how the profits will be calculated, and the duration of the agreement.
Loss sharing. This refers to the principle of sharing loss between parties in a financial transaction. In Islamic finance, losses are shared between the investor and the entrepreneur. For example, in a mudarabah arrangement, if the business generates loss, they are shared between the investor and the entrepreneur according to pre-agreed ratio. Contract of loss sharing. Number 1. This contract establishes an agreement between the two parties regarding the share of profit and loss in the project or business to be carried out. Number 2. This contract cannot be valid for the period agreed between both parties. Number 3. The distribution of profit and loss will be done after the contract period ends and the project or business has ceased or suffered loss. Number 4. This contract may be determined by either party for breach of contract or establishes company policy. Number 5. This contract may also be terminated by either party in the event of an emergency or force majeure situation requiring termination. Number 6. This contract may not be changed or modified unless there is a written agreement between the two parties. Sharia screening. First, process of analyzing whether a product or investment complies with the principle of Islamic law, also known as Sharia. Number 2, the purpose of Sharia screening is to ensure that the product or investment adheres to Islamic values, such as the prohibition of riba, maisir, and gharar, as well as meeting other Sharia requirements. Number 3. In the context of finance, Sharia screening is typically conducted to ensure that the product or investment offered by an Islamic financial institution or company comply with Sharia principle and obtain Sharia certification from a reputable Sharia supervisory board.
So that's all from us. We hope our presentation can provide a clear understanding about investment. Thank you.